Hi you guys, this is Shanie Crosbie coming at you with my first YouTube video. I'm a working makeup artist here in the Central Coast of California. I do a lot of weddings, a lot of events. I love to do one-on-one lessons, and the people in my life, the people who know me the best, are like, why don't you do a little channel? Why don't you start something? I'm like, I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. We'll see how it goes. And today I just wanted to do something simple, easy. Let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna do, I already did a peel pad last night. I put on some moisturizer. Right now I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of MAC's Strobe cream. I like my skin to look a little bit more glowy. My sister turned me on to It Cosmetics CC cream. It's got pretty good coverage. They have 3 different formulas. It has an SPF of 50, which I love, and it's also more of a mineral-based line. I mean, I try and use things that are somewhat better for your skin, but let's be honest, some things aren't always the most natural. I use about that much. I have quite a bit of hyperpigmentation and melasma. There's really not much that's going to change that. But what I do like about this is that it just, I feel like covers enough, but also allows my skin to still look like skin using real techniques. For my everyday, I'm not all about like, I don't have to have like everything perfect right now. I think the point of also maybe starting this channel is kind of do something that's like just more approachable, and I want people to feel good and know it's not hard to achieve something really simple. So you see, it kind of just took down some of my discoloration. I'm always happy with this. I kind of like to push the product in. You can kind of see me like from the center kind of working out, definitely bringing it a little bit down the neck. But I mean, that was like half of a pump, and I feel pretty good with this. So next step, this is the Fit Me by Maybelline. You can see there's a pretty good hyperpigmentation mark there. I'm doing something that's a tiny bit lighter, just to kind of brighten. This formula is not really thick, so it is nice. I wouldn't recommend it for covering pimples. You're gonna need something a little bit of a drier kind of texture, but I use a little beauty blender. You can definitely use your fingers. This is damp. The little dampness kind of adds a little extra hydration to the skin. And I do kind of bring it down in like this kind of triangle. You kind of see that? And then I will just kind of like hit a little bit over my eyeballs. But you know, you can go in and tap like right here maybe, because I know I have that little spot. It's not going to go away, but it'll be a little bit brightened. And hit the eyes. I'm really kind of just not even dealing with my forehead today. Any extra, I just kind of highlight down my nose, any area that's red. And sometimes I like to bring here too. First time filming, I'm going to have to figure out lighting, all of that, but I think I'm going to go in and I just actually purchased some Kevyn Aucoin products. I think they're kind of discontinuing some stuff, which is a bummer. I actually used to work up in Seattle at a salon there, and I was fortunate enough to get quite a bit of training through the people through Kevyn Aucoin, and I just love I love his products. So yeah, this is a little bit more expensive. This is called the Matte Bronzing Veil in Desert Nights. You can kind of see it is a little bit more kind of on the orangey side, but I kind of want an overall bronzed effect. I'm using a nice big fat brush. Get right in here. And then I kind of like to push the product into the brush a little bit. So using the back of the mirror, I just kind of push it in. Tap kind of right back by the ear. I'll just start kind of warming up. And just sweep that. And then you can just keep adding. I always say slowly kind of see it happening. So, I mean, you can see this is like, I mean, we could be done there maybe add a little bit of blush because I like blush. I think it has a youthful effect. And you can also create different textures with blushes too. So I am going to, that was the Kevyn Aucoin bronzer. Really like it. It's more matte, no shimmer in that one. I still love the Stila cream blushes. They're pretty. They're great on lips. You can pop a little bit on the eye. You can use your fingers, definitely, with this product. Sometimes I actually like to use like a big fluffy brush here. I'm just gonna pat. You can see that there's a lot on there. Push it in so then it's worked into the brush. I always like to smile and get it on the apples and then pull it just a tiny bit up. And also, the further back you hold, the softer the application. This actually, when you hold it closer, gives you a little more pressure. And I'm kind of like pushing. I'm not really fully dragging, if that makes sense. A lot of times I like to kind of push, stipple, pat, rather than this swiping blending motion. Pretty. Sometimes I will hit the nose and the chin. The other color, I can't read this one. This one is a little bit more on the wine side, which I kind of like. I'm gonna kind of do this a little bit more in a specific spot. So the pink one I kind of just blended everywhere just so we have kind of a nice pinky flush look, and then a little bit more intense on the apple. I think that looks pretty. Now I would say let's go in and do, I'm gonna do a little bit of a highlighting product. Also, you know, I worked for MAC for many years, so I'm kind of OG with a lot of their products. Pearl, cream color base, great. I'm gonna just, this is a cream, so you actually get quite a bit. I'm gonna knock a little bit off there. High point, just to kind of, again, for me, it's kind of making that skin look a little bit kind of glowy and fresh, and just push right on the top of your cheekbone. I like to do that more here and not so much at the tip, kind of like right on the very top of the bridge. You can do a little bit in the corner. It's hereditary. I have these little hairs in the corner of my eyes. It's so weird. Thanks, Grandma. Okay. And then I'm going to wipe out that blush brush, and then I'm literally just kind of pushing everything into the skin. And then sometimes what I'll do too, oh, my bang's driving me nuts. Come on. I got major cowlicks. That beauty blender, kind of damp. Again, just pushing that in. All right, I'm going to curl my lashes. Kevyn Aucoin lash curler. I like it. It's got the silicone red pad, so you want to change them about every, I would say get a new curler every, I would say 4 to 6 months. My lashes are definitely in a funky state. They're like completely, they're not even related. The one that I just did is nice and full, and this one's got these weird gaps. So I'm actually trying to use a little lash serum. I think hormones are kicking in for me. So I'm definitely kind of noticing my lashes are starting to thin a little bit, things like that. But, oh well, it is life. Okay, so I just want to kind of set that little bit of concealer I did, and then anywhere where I don't want a lot of shine. So that's like right here under the eye, because I have a cream product that I need to keep in place. Sometimes I like to use more of a translucent powder, but I just grabbed what was on hand so I could get filming this first look. A little bit here, because we do get a little bit red. And I promise, normally when I do this and I'm not filming, this can take me like 6 minutes. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. Now let's say if we wanted to just do something really quick on the eyes, you don't have to. You could put your mascara on and be good. I just kind of popped that little inner corner just to add some brightness. But I am a big fan of using whatever you've used on your face on your eyes. It's easy. Taking a little fluffy brush, and I'm not like going to be contouring or anything. I'm just like warming up the skin a little bit, like nothing major. It's just to kind of take off kind of the starkness. If you wanted to give a little more definition, you could run a little bit underneath the eye, but whatevs. I think that's perfect. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm good. I was going to take a little bit of a spray. You can definitely mist all over, but sometimes I do like to just like spray my beauty blender, kind of pop that, and then just on my cheeks. I line a little on my chin too. It just kind of gives you extra hydration, so your skin isn't going to want to drink up all the products like you just put on. If your skin's really dehydrated, it's just what will happen is your blush will kind of just start to disappear. You're like, what? I just spent 7 minutes doing my face, and then an hour later you're like, where's my blush? It's probably a good indication that your skin is dehydrated, which is a lack of water. So it's going to drink up anything that's on the surface. That's why sometimes doing skin prep beforehand, really like spending time on that skincare, it's going to be best. I do like primers, but I don't always think it's necessary. I think sometimes getting really good quality skincare, spending the money on skincare, and then like whatever you are using for foundation is key to kind of keeping things wearing a little longer. This is the MAC, I think Extreme Dimension or something. I'm a little rusty on all my names of products. I just buy stuff, add it to my kit. You know, I know what I'm looking for, but sometimes I forget the name of everything. There's so many products that are coming out every day. It's pretty ridiculous. I love the Max Extended Play for the bottom because it's a tubing mascara, which basically the product wraps around and dries and then does not smudge or flake. If you get flaking with mascara, most of the time it's because it's old and it needs to be replaced. So if people are like, oh, my mascara flakes, I'm like, well, how old is it? Oh, it's 6 months old. Well, yeah, you should be replacing that like every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So that's definitely that. Let's just go in with that kind of more saturated cheek color. And then I kind of find whatever's happening on the complexion, the cheek, whatever tone you've done, I kind of like to use that on the lip. You could do a chapstick. Burt's Bees makes some really fun tints. So that's it. I think this looks, great every day. Skin looks good. Not like perfect. I'm just going to touch a little bit more bronze. And that's it. Thank you. Thanks for joining.